Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. I'm so glad you could join me here today. I have another really fun mixed media project to share with you for Little Birdie Crafts. This is an altered journal and I've used a whole ton of Little Birdie products. We'll just look at this and then I'll show you what I used and then we'll do the tutorial. So this is just a journal I picked up at a clearance sale. It was really cheap and had this great kind of fake leather cover, but very plain. So I wanted to dress it up and turn it into something really pretty that could be used as home decor. This would make a great guest book at a guest house. It'd even be fun as a gardener's journal. So I started out stenciling with sparkle, this lovely mint fizz sparkle paste from Little Birdie Crafts, and I used this leaf repeat stencil to do that. And then once that was dry, I used the Succulent Garden paper pack and the Texture Brew paper pack to create these designs on the cover. I did a little distressing and inking. Here's some more stenciling done with this word script stencil. This is a large one. It's about 8 by 10. And I also used this lemon zest sparkle paste. And this yellow here is just cleaning off the back side of the word stencil, but you can see where I did the words in Vintage Photo Distress ink there. Then I used this wonderful printed burlap ribbon along the side just to create a border and add some more wonderful texture. And this beautiful succulent wreath is from the Succulent Garden paper pack, and I just fussy cut it out. And then I added just a ton of beautiful little birdie flowers, and I'll show you what I used. These are some of my favorites. These little beaded fancies, they're just the perfect little fill-in in any project, and the color means you can use them with anything. I love these. And then these beauties, these are so pretty because they have printed layers and then textured with the pearls in the middle, and these are Valerie purple. And then the succulents that you see here are from the Succulent Meadow pack, and you can see I still have more in there, so that's exciting. And then just to kind of fill everything in, I use these beautiful, these are so gorgeous, and sadly I don't have a name on the package. This came in my design team package. They are Little Birdie, but from here I use these gorgeous, look at these foliage pieces with the beaded stems and tall pieces, this beautiful curled paper, and then these beautiful beaded fancy flowers. They just filled everything out gorgeously. I also used this chipboard piece. This is the honeycomb chipboard to kind of add an extra layer of texture and design and height, and I painted that with it comes pre-primed. Oh no, I painted that with the sparkle paste, sorry. But I did also use this wild moss and sandstone chalk paint, and you'll see how I use those in the video to follow. So this is on the inside. I left this unglued because I thought this is a great tuck spot for any kind of envelopes or anything you need, or addresses. And then there's just all these great blank pages. I didn't do anything with those. I did also decorate the back using the chalk paint, and then I just roughed it up a little bit with some Vintage Photo and then spattered everything with walnut ink. So that's the project. Hold on, I've showed you the materials. Oh, I also used the sisal fiber. I love this stuff. And this is what created this lovely little textured nest for our flower arrangement to rest on. So let me clear all of this off my work area, and we will come back and we will do the tutorial. Don't go away. Okay, so let's get this tutorial started. I've got my 8.5 by 11 faux leather covered journal that I picked up on clearance, and I just want to dress this up a little bit. It's a little plain, so I'm going to bring in this beautiful stencil, and I'm just going to lay this on my cover. I'm going to take a little bit of this post-it tape, and I'm just going to put this down to hold things in place for me. And then this is Little Birdie Sparkle Paste Mint Fizz. And this looks really intense in the jar, but when you put it on, it's sort of translucent, so it doesn't come out as strong a color. You can see the shimmer in the jar. So I'm thinking this is just going to add a really subtle shimmer to the background of my journal. I'm just going to pick this up with a palette knife, and I'm just going to spread this through my stencil. So now we have to let this dry, but I want to repeat this same process on the back of the journal. So just that it looks like a really beautiful custom piece. So let me go clean off my stencil. You always want to clean these off so that you can use it again next time. And I'll be right back. We'll do the next step. So while our stenciled cover, journal cover, is drying, let's work on the layers that we're going to add. This is a piece of this beautiful linen designer paper from the Texture Brew collection, and I just want to add a little inking and distressing around the edges. This is going to add some extra texture and actually even more dimension. So I'm just using a distressing tool to lightly go around the edges. And then I'm going to come in with some Vintage Photo Distress ink and just sponge that on. And you can already see how this is giving this a more textured, dimensional look. So I've just added a couple of little spritzes of water to my ink that's left on my craft sheet, and I'm just going to tap my paper into that just to add a little more distressing and layering. Not a lot, just a little, to age it. And we'll hit this to dry it. So to add another layer to this without adding a lot of bulk, 8 by 10. So it's a nice size, and I'm just going to lay this over the top, and I'm going to take a little bit of this green chalk paint. This is Little Birdie Home Decor. This is Wild Moss, and I want to lighten this up just a little bit, so I'm going to add a bit of this sandstone. I love this chalk ink, chalk paint. It dries really fast. I'm just going to mix these with my brush. And you see we just got a really soft, it just softened out that green a little bit. Then I'm just going to use my brush. And I'm just going to randomly do this. I'm not going to do it the whole thing, just in spots. So it just adds another layer of texture to what we're doing. So I dried that paint with my heat tool. It just takes a second. Chalk paint dries very carefully. Now I'm going to come back in with my Vintage Photo, and I'm just going to skim over the top, and this time I am going to do the whole thing. I just think the contrast of some being done and some being not done will be really cool. Yeah, look how neat that looks. And I'm going to just add a little bit over here as well. That's beautiful. This is Little Birdie pre-primed chipboard. And this is the honeycomb. I love this stuff. You can use it as it is, but I want to add just a touch of sparkle. So I've got this Little Birdie sparkle paste, and this color is lemon zest. And I'm just going to brush this on. Not a heavy coat, just enough to give it a little bit more presence on the page. And this stuff dries pretty fast. So you want to clean it off your brush and your work surface. But see, that's not like screaming yellow, but it's just got that little bit of shimmer and sparkle, which is really fun. So we'll set that aside to dry. Oh, I should have done that on top of here. Wouldn't that have been cool? Oh well. Maybe we can pick some of that up. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. I like that. That's cool. Okay, so now we've created this glorious mess on our notebook cover. We're going to go ahead and start adding our layers. And we're going to start with this panel that we prepared. And I want to adhere this right about here. So you can use the adhesive of your choice and just lay this down. You just want to make sure you really burnish this down. I like to use a paper towel, slightly damp, and just press all the air out and get that really firmly attached. And that looks pretty good to me. So the next thing, I got this really cute burlap ribbon with a stenciled on yellow chevron design. And I want to wrap my journal with this ribbon, burlap ribbon. So I just lifted the cover and I'm placing it on the inside. And I want it to join approximately in the middle. Looks pretty good. And I'm not going to add adhesive on the inside because I want to be able to use the band on the inside as a tuck spot for notes or little extra little things I want to tuck. All right, make sure this is even. I'm just adding my adhesive to the back of my burlap. You can use a hot glue gun. I've got mine warming up, but it's not quite ready yet. And I get impatient. I like to keep going when I'm working. Just going to hold that in place for that adhesive to set up. So you can see already we've got some really great layering going on here and some great texture. Okay, that seems good. Safe to move on. Now I'm going to bring in these little pieces that we cut. I want these to go above and below our focal point. So we have to put these in now. And these are cut, these are just little banner flags that I cut from Succulent Garden. I just snipped off, folded the paper in half, snipped off the tails, and that made these cute little banner flags. So one there. One here. Oops. Just have to hold those in place until that adhesive takes hold. Now I'm going to bring in our lattice piece, our honeycomb, and we're just going to add our adhesive to the back of this. Actually, let's see if my glue gun is ready. Yeah, that's the way to go. And I want this to go right here. And we'll just get those little glue webs up. Wait for the glue to cool though. All right. Now I've fussy cut this pretty succulent wreath from the succulent paper collection, and I just want to add some waste chipboard to the back of this to strengthen it. So I'm going to cut a little square. See if that fits. All right, if I trim the corners. I use the boxes that my design team supplies come in instead of foam because it's cheap. And that way I have more money to spend on pretty paper stuff. I'm just going to put some little ones around. And I'm going to add just a little glue to the back of these little pieces so they don't get torn. Now for the fun part, we get to add some flowers. So let me gather those together and I'll be right back. So I have a bit of this sisal fiber from Little Birdie Crafts, and I'm just kind of pulling it to make it nice and fluffy because I want to lay this down right along the edge here to create sort of a bed for our flowers to lie in. So I'm thinking like that. I'm just going to set that there. And then for flowers this time, I have the Valerie Purple. Aren't these pretty? And I have these beautiful Succulent Meadow. These are gorgeous. And then I have these purple. I'm not sure what these are. These came to me in my design team pack, but I love these foliage pieces, so I want to add those in. And I think we'll start with that. Let's pull these out of the package. I just, look at these. They're like incredible. Can you see? Look at these. The beaded centers in there. The detail is just breathtaking. Oh my goodness, I love these. Yep, total love. And see, they're kind of coiled together at the bottom, so that's going to make them easy to apply. I'm just going to add some hot glue to the backs of the leaves. And I'm going to lay these down right on top of that sisal fiber. And just kind of press that in place so that the glue will hold, hot glue will hold. And I'm going to take a little more hot glue right down in here just to make sure this at the bottom is all secured. So that's beautiful. And then I want to take one of these beautiful paper curls and add it in over here on this side. And on this side. And now I think I will just play some music for you and let you watch me build my flowers. So I love to add either numbers or letters to a project. I've got these little Scrabble tiles and I'm going to spell out grow because it seems appropriate. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this green paint and just kind of go around the edges of these tiles. And it's okay if they get a little painty. Okay, so now we'll bring our notebook in, and I think I want to place these just like they're coming right out of that cluster of flowers. Okay, and then just to finish things off, I'm going to take a little bit of this walnut ink And I'm going to dilute it with a little water. And I'm going to bring in my notebook. Just create some lovely spatters, and this darker color will kind of help anchor everything. And I know you can use a spatter brush for this, you can use a fan brush, but this brush is already dirty, so I'm just going to use this brush. And I just love the sort of vintage aged finish that spattering adds. And there it is, our finished altered journal. Isn't this fun? Beautiful little birdie flowers, mixed media products, paper, some burlap, lots of lovely texture, beautiful colors, a little bit of shimmer. I love it. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up. And thank you so much. I'm going to go get my craft on. I hope you do too.